Good evening. This is the Zone 3334 Public Image Team. Aren't you lucky to have us all in your living room or den or back porch? We come to you every month on the fourth Tuesday of the month at 6 p.m. And if you happen to miss us, we have a magical genie that puts it up on the website for you, and it's typically there the next day. So if you hear something great tonight and you'd like your friend to hear it, send them to elevaterotary.org and you can see it again. I'm Billy Black, Zone 33 Regional Public Image Coordinator, and my counterpart is Susan Quarter. My team is here if you'll give us a little wave, except Hamilton's under the weather. We have Marie Fallon, Hamilton Holloway, Dawn Rochelle, and I'm saving Aunt Taylor. And then on the 34 team, we have Amanda Groover, Michael Wallstrom, Caroline Blockinger, and Sean Patty, who's usually behind the scenes, and then as our special guest and guru of us all, Marshall Butler. In April, we had an event in Zone 33, and Taylor presented a great Fundraising Re-Imagined webinar for us, or seminar for us, and everyone really enjoyed it. And so she's back again tonight, Assistant Rotary Public Image Coordinator for Zone 33, Taylor Offen. Take it away. Oh, Q&A in the Q&A, questions in the Q&A box. Take it away.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Billy, for the introduction. And I'm so excited to be here with you all. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to be here with us. I'm really excited to present Fundraising Reimagined. Today, I'm going to share with you all some great resources, one of many in particular, to develop an engaging online fundraiser. And so before we jump on in, I'm going to share with you all a little bit more about myself so that you can get to know me. Some Rotary fun facts. I am also actively serving as president of my Rotary Club this year, the Rotary Club of Ending Child Abuse that is a part of District 7730. And while I was a founding member of that online cause-based club, I have been in and around Rotary for quite some time now. I am a child of two Rotarians, and I attended my first RI convention in 2009 in Birmingham, England. And I am also a former Interact Club president. Some personal facts about myself. I am an alumna of North Carolina State University, and I never left Raleigh after graduating. So myself and my husband are based in Raleigh, North Carolina. You can see our two dogs there featured at the bottom of the slide. And a fun fact about me, although I'm not quite to Amanda's level as far as reading goes, I have read over 80 books so far this year. So jumping into our, hopefully you guys can still hear me, jumping into what to expect today, I'm going to walk you through some simple things. So starting off with determining our fundraising goals, setting up a platform, walking you all through a communications plan, taking you all to action, and then going through a review. I will say that for this, I really used Canva. I used Canva to create the presentation for today. And the different materials that I've utilized as a part of creating the fundraiser, I utilized all through Canva. You're able to utilize the brand kit to create these and stay compliant within brand guidelines. We have really great resources and templates on Elevate Rotary in order to help curate your campaign. And so starting off, we want to talk through goals, right? Every fundraiser, every action, every plan is going to start with a goal. I'm a pretty goal-oriented and action-oriented person. And so for our club specifically, right, we're an online, fully virtual club, and all of our members are based in the US. So I will put a disclaimer on this, is that whenever I was researching platforms and searching for tools, I found a platform that is specific to the US and Canada. Later on in the presentation, we'll walk through additional international tools that you can utilize anywhere in the world. And so whenever we started to look through and talk through what our goals would be to even potentially start a fundraiser, we looked at the different projects that we wanted to complete and how much money we would need potentially for that. And so we chose a specific dollar amount that we could measure over the course of time. And we wanted to make sure that that was something that was achievable, relevant to our audience, right, across the US. We couldn't necessarily have specific products going to people. We couldn't get physical tickets from all of our club members to their networks. And so we needed a tool that we could distribute that relatively cost effective, right? Being number one. And then two, something that was accessible for everyone. And so we didn't necessarily need to be able to transfer any products or anything to that extent. One way that we liked to keep ourselves in check, if you will, throughout our fundraising process, especially as this was an online fundraiser, was utilizing the SMART methodology. There are a lot of different action plans and methods that you can use for setting goals. This one just happened to work best for us. And so as your club or district is thinking through setting up a fundraiser, I really encourage you all to start with a brainstorming session about how you want to accomplish your goals, how you're going to get to that end product of getting to that initiative. And so where my research led me was to a platform called ZEFFY. Now, we started off by researching and found a number of different platforms, but one thing that I consistently came across were transaction fees. So I really wanted to try and be able to find an organization that catered specifically to nonprofit organizations. And so ZEFFY is the only platform for nonprofits that is 100% free. With ZEFFY, you as a club, you as a district, receive every dollar that donors pledge. It relies entirely on voluntary contributions from donors to keep the platform active and running for the 25,000 plus nonprofits that utilize the system. And so what that means is that there is a voluntary amount that individuals can choose to support ZEFFY whenever they click onto the payment page. And so there is a way that you do not have to select that. So you don't have to contribute back to the platform. It will automatically populate, right? Because they are an organization at the end of the day. But you can zero out that dollar amount and you don't have to necessarily contribute to them. Some other really neat things that I found useful about the platform and our club found useful about the platform is that you automatically have a receipt, a tax receipt automation. You also have donor management. So you're able to almost see the back end of the platform like a CRM system. So you are able to see the information that the donors provide to you. So that could be anything from a name to an email to a phone number, which will be really great if you continue to use the platform for future fundraisers. It has a variety of different fundraising capabilities, as you can see: ticketing, donations, peer-to-peer campaigns, e-commerce, so you can even set up a store, raffles and lotteries, and also memberships. So it's fully customizable to be able to support the needs of your club and or organization. I will say whenever you go to set up an account, you will need a 501c3 or a 501c4 number. For our club, we had a 501c4. I input that information and we were good to kind of start setting up the system on our end. From there, you want to select a form that is going to be your fundraiser. So for our club, what we did was a raffle, right? I was saying earlier, we are a virtual online-based club, and we didn't want to necessarily have to transfer any one product, any one ticket. And we also wanted to be able to have the highest rate of return, if I'm being honest, as far as cost goes. And so we settled on a 50-50 raffle. And so I selected raffle. And then from there, we go into general ticket information. This is going to be the first thing that you see on your screen. I have an example kind of as we go throughout the program today. And you want to really keep the information simple, right? We want to make sure that it's engaging, but you want to make sure as soon as an individual, a potential customer, if you will, clicks on to your ticket, they know exactly what it is. So we didn't reinvent the wheel here. We titled ours Rotary Club of Ending Child Abuse 50-50 Raffle. In the description box is where we talk about the what, right? So we talked about who our club was and what we were doing. The Rotary Club of Ending Child Abuse is hosting a 50-50 raffle. It launched on Monday, December 4th and closed on Tuesday, January 2nd. And then we went into more information about the timeline of the raffle, so when it would close and whenever we would select a recipient. And so again, really want to make sure that you are clear with your audience through the title, the description, and including a start and end date to the platform. So from there, there's further information that you're able to customize. So when going into the ticket information, you want to create a ticket title. Again, we're not reinventing the wheel. We're keeping it really simple for our audience so they know what they're clicking into. You're going to click on ticket title and then define your price, right? This might be different depending on who your audience is. So you have to decide and talk with your team if you have a fundraising team or if you have a small club, speaking with your board and or your members, how much money that you want the ticket price to be at. We worked backwards here for my club. We knew a specific dollar amount that we at least needed to raise to be able to see through certain projects for the year. And so that's how we settled on our ticket price. And we had the option for individuals to be able to select as many tickets as they would like. And they could also include an additional donation if they so chose. Down further on the screen, there are individual questions that you can also ask for your potential buyer. Again, that's where you could ask different things as far as options for future events and or potential interest in your club, potential interest in getting involved in Rotary. You can link additional information there for those individuals to get involved. And then here's where kind of the public image and branding will come into play. And so here on the screen, you see an example of the ticket that we used, right? Keeping it really simple. We wanted to be one, brand compliant. So using the colorways from the Rotary Brand Center. And we wanted to showcase accurately what exactly we were selling. Again, we didn't have a physical ticket, but we wanted to make sure that people knew exactly what they were purchasing. And we also had our club logo there on the bottom right that you can customize and create on the brand center. So this is the first piece of information that individuals would see whenever they clicked into our form. From there, something that I also thought was really cool about utilizing ZEFFY is that it offers the ability to automate a lot of the fundraising process, including follow-up. And so this is a very efficient way to save time and potential missed steps, if you will, for communicating back to the individuals who purchased from you. And so it automates a thank you email for you, and you can always loop them back to your club. So we made sure to invite individuals who donated to us back to our club meetings, and we provided an email for them to reach out to if they were potentially interested in joining us. Last but not least, as far as creating a form goes on their site, and I'm sure as on many of the sites that you will see here tonight, there are options to share with your networks. So you are able to download QR codes, copy the link and post it to your networks, send it back out to clubs and districts to participate either via Club Runner and or DACDB. There are a lot of different options, and it's all automated within the system. And it's really simple to be able to get it out to your club and or district members. Last but not least, here on the platform, as you are setting up and creating your form, there's information there for you to invite your treasurer. So this was one thing that I thought was super cool, is that once the form was created, ZEFFY actually sent an email to the form creator and asked you to invite a treasurer. So then you then entered in the treasurer's email, and ZEFFY will directly send them a link to create an account, and then their account will allow them to enter in the bank account information for either their club and or district. Again, this is really great because it eliminates the transfer of fund information virtually, and it allows the bank information to remain protected for your club and or district here. So that was a really great feature that they had thought through whenever created it. So once your form is created, next you move on to the communications plan. Here again, we relied heavily on the brand center, creating the pieces of text, the images that were shared out to our networks. So that way we were able to get the information out to our communities and out to our networks. So as I shared earlier, when creating a graphics, we utilized a ticket. And we were able to download files for platforms of interest. Again, utilizing Canva, it makes it really simple to be able to select PDF, PNG files, all buzzwords that I'm sure a lot of you have heard before as PI chairs or being around your public image team. So utilizing the social media platforms that already exist, right, for your club, for your district, for your zone, you're going to want to use those graphics and download the files sizes according to those specific platforms. From there, something that you're able to create, and I can send out a mock-up of the communications and social media breakdown as I'm having Susan share her screen for me today. I personally thought that it would be most helpful to share an internal communications plan to my club. So what that entailed was crafting out the text that the individual club members could potentially use to share with their networks, right? It could be fully customizable for them, but I took out a bit of the legwork, if you will. So that made it really simple for the individuals to copy and paste the text that they could use in the captions or in their post out to their networks. The internal communication guidelines also included additional information as to the timeline of events. So when to send it out, when the fundraiser was launching, when the fundraiser was closing, with a variety of different social media tiles, if you will, that they could then share with their network. Again, this helped us in making the information accessible to our club and could also help you within your own fundraising goals, communicate out to your club and to your district so that everyone was on the same page, right? And we all had a similar structure, if you will, to the communications that were going out. And from there, we took the fundraiser into action. As you launch, the platform will provide you with an overview of the funds that you have raised, how many supporters that you have. And so you are able to then keep your teams really engaged. You can almost create competition with it if that speaks to your club and or your district. However you choose to do it, keep it authentic to you, right? Another thing that is neat about ZEFFY that I should have mentioned earlier on with the bank account information is that the funds raised go directly into your bank account. You're not waiting on a paper check. You're not having to deal with the transfer of money through other platforms. you can download it directly, or it deposits, not download. It deposits directly into your club and or district's bank account. And so again, as you're sharing this out with your teams, as you are sharing it out with your networks, you want to make it really authentic and engaging to what your group responds best to. You know your audience best, so really play into those strengths there. I know I spent a lot of time speaking about a platform that is only specific, right, to the US and Canada, but there are other alternatives that you're able to utilize and that are available to you. So I'm going to ask Susan and or Sean to step in and share a little bit more about Raise for Rotary and the others that you see on the screen.
That's me. All right. Hey guys. So yeah, as Taylor mentioned, right, what we've tried to provide for you guys is more or less kind of a layout or a structure in terms of how you can go about looking at and exploring the idea of online fundraising. And we just chose ZEFFY to highlight the idea of online fundraising because it's such a great tool. But as Taylor would have mentioned, and as most of you guys would kind of discover on your own, ZEFFY is not the only tool out there that you can do online fundraising on. There are many other platforms available for different countries, for different types of fundraising. We're not necessarily saying to use ZEFFY. We're not necessarily saying to use ZEFFY for a particular type of fundraiser. But, on your screen right now, you'll see about 4 or 5 other platforms that you can investigate and explore and see if they work. And you can, just do a search and find others that may be locally or regionally more appropriate for you. But the one that I just wanted to spend like 60 seconds on and remind some of you guys about is the Raise for Rotary platform. This is something that RI itself has put out and has been around now for just about 2 years or so, maybe more. It is a crowdsourcing fundraising platform. Anybody can use it. An individual can use it. A club can use it. A member can use it. A non-member can use it. You can set up pretty much, different types of events, whether it be a singular event, a challenge event, a competition. You can have it credit members who donate towards that particular event, or you can have it credit your particular club if you'd like, especially if non-members are contributing towards your fundraiser. And what's great about it is that you can tell it to allocate all the funds that are being raised to a particular Rotary Foundation fund. So whether you want all the funds being raised to go towards the Polio Plus Fund, the annual fund, a particular area of focus, you can build all of that in to Raise for Rotary. So if you haven't looked at it as yet, or if you just remembered about it, take a look at it again. It's definitely a great online fundraising platform and tool for you and your club and your district to utilize. And again, we just want to make sure everybody understands that, there are many platforms out there. There are many platforms that offer different types of fundraising out there. Take the time and really explore, as Taylor mentioned, right? Before you start doing anything, consider all your options, strategize on your plan for it, and, find what really works best for you, your club, your community, your particular area and region. Chris, you want to kick us off?
All right, so we're going to go ahead and take Q&A. We have several questions that we're going to let the panel address from the chat. The one we're going to go with first, Sue is really asking Taylor, Taylor, how many tickets did you sell and how much did you raise? And, could you just provide a couple of details as far as the fundraiser's success?
Absolutely. Great question. Thank you for asking it. We set our ticket price at $10 a ticket, and we sold 179 tickets. Now, I know it doesn't take a math major to know that that doesn't quite add up, but we had several individuals click the additional donation feature whenever they were choosing how many tickets that they wanted to purchase. So some individuals selected 5 tickets and added an additional $25 donation or something to that extent. So we set the ticket price based on how much money that we wanted to raise. And then we didn't necessarily mandate, but we did ask that each member of our club sold, I believe it was close to 5 tickets. We asked between 3 and 5 tickets. Again, there was no mandate on how many that they needed to sell, but we did ask that everyone kind of jump on board and do their best to sell 3 to 5.
Awesome. And Taylor, just one more follow-up on the practicalities of conducting the raffle. Bart asked, how was the drawing actually done? I mean, how did you physically draw the winner?
Yeah, so we did a generator. We used an online generator. So on the back end, as we mentioned earlier, you can see the donors. So that's a part of that donor management piece. So you can see the names of individuals and how many tickets that they purchased. We downloaded an Excel file and then uploaded that Excel file into a random generator. It signed everyone a certain number and put that into the generator, hit it, and it did a random organization of it. There are several different kind of spin a wheel type of things that you can do, but we did it via Zoom and re-recorded it and had it open to individuals. If they had purchased a ticket, they could join online so that they could see that it was a fair drawing, if you will. And then we posted that after the fact.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. So there's several questions about the legality. I think Sean and I will take these. Sean, you had indicated that you wanted to weigh in on whether or not people outside of the US and Canada could use this particular platform. Do you want to comment on that?
Sure. So, as Taylor mentioned earlier, ZEFFY right now is kind of just focused on North America and Canada, and to use it, you really need to be a 501c3 or 501c4 organization, which means that you're officially recognized as a nonprofit. So for many of the clubs and districts that are outside North America and Canada, that may not be possible. And again, that's why we're saying that we're not just pointing you to one particular platform, and in this case, we're not just pointing you to ZEFFY. We're saying that there are other platforms out there that may be able to provide you with similar, if not the same, features and functionality when it comes to online fundraising. Whether or not, and we'll just say this right now to be blunt, whether or not they would all be quote unquote free, that is, not charge you or not charge your donor any fees, that's really where you need to explore the options. These things, they cost money, and somebody is paying for it at some point in time, whether it's through donations and contributions from third parties like what ZEFFY does to offset its costs, or whether it's asking individual donors to offset the cost themselves when they make their contributions. We just need to be aware that this is what's happening. And what you'll find, I've been doing online fundraising for a while, and I've used a completely separate third-party platform to do it. And what we found is, people honestly don't mind making that little extra contribution, whether it, so if they want to donate $100 and it's going to cost them $3.50 in fees, they don't mind paying $3.50 more to ensure that the receiving body gets that full $100. Some other platforms, what they'll do is they will deduct it from the donated amount. So again, if you used a platform that somebody donated $100 to, the platform may take 3%, 3.5% from it, and you'll end up with, $97, give or take. And again, it all depends on what you are comfortable with, and exploring the different options that are available out there. In as much as we're talking about that, I just wanted to ask Taylor this question, that Bart had posed. Even if in using ZEFFY, it's set up for and based, on a US based or Canadian based nonprofit, can anybody around the world still use it to purchase tickets? Or can tickets only be purchased from, let's say, US based credit cards, I guess? I think the answer to that would be anybody can purchase.
I don't want to give the incorrect answer, but to my knowledge, the site is only available in the US and Canada, and it's only available in English, Spanish, and French languages. So that would be a great question that, and I'll share this as well. Any questions that we aren't necessarily able to get to today, ZEFFY's customer service team is really great. They have live demos happening all the time. And if you're really curious about potentially utilizing ZEFFY, that would be a great platform to ask that question on.
Thanks, Taylor. And I'll just get rid of this out of the way and switch it back to you, Chris. Andre asked if ZEFFY has iframe functionality to embed forms into existing club or district websites. The answer to the question is yes. And Andre, I'll post the link that gives you more information on that into the chat box.
All right, thanks, Sean. There have been several questions and comments in the general chat, regarding the legality, and it's understandable, that folks are concerned about that. None of us are going to pretend to be experts on the law in every jurisdiction. I will say that generally speaking, it's my understanding that some form of raffles are illegal in 48 out of the 50 states. There are going to be varying degrees of legality and, hoops that you have to jump through. ZEFFY does provide a resource page, basically a grid set up to where you can do a quick scan of the, the law in general terms in the 50 states. And I think that, most of the better platforms are going to have similar resources so that you guys can vet the legality in your particular jurisdiction. So I think that, addresses at least broadly the legality questions. Taylor, I think one more for you, and then we should be able to wrap up Q&A. You had touched briefly on the various setups that you can do. One of the questions was, can you sell physical items on ZEFFY? Can you comment on that?
Yes, and I saw another question come through the chat, not necessarily the Q&A. But yeah, you can open an online shop as well, where you can sell physical items. We have not explored that option yet, but to my understanding, you would be able to sell like a t-shirt, if you will, for a fundraiser or for your club. So you do have the option to be able to sell physical items. There was also another question about Stripe as far as online transactions, how safe is the platform to use? And ZEFFY utilizes Stripe for their payment processing. And another one thing, Chris, to touch on as far as functionality goes, the raffle is just one of several different forms that you are able to create. For example, our club uses one of the forms for our membership dues and as well for our happy dollars. So members of our club can contribute a donation to the club in form of happy dollars. I'm not sure how many of clubs out there utilize happy dollars, but you're able to set up a number of different ones if raffles don't necessarily speak to your club, or legally you are not able to set one up within your state. There are a number of different options there that you can browse through.
And Taylor, I think I inadvertently misspoke before. I have one more question for you.
Sure.
There was a comment about the speed of clearing for payments. What was your experience with ZEFFY?
That's a great question. Our experience was a positive one. It was really simple and easy for our treasurer. I believe that there is an option for deposit either once per month or once every 2 weeks.
Okay.
So relatively quick.
Yeah.
In my opinion, just based off of my experience with the platform.
Awesome. Great information, Taylor. Thank you so much. And I think that's going to conclude our Q&A. And I believe I'm supposed to turn it over to Susan.
Yes, thank you. Before I get started with our wrap up and some additional housekeeping items, I just want to give Taylor a really big round of applause because that was a lot of great information covered. And you might even have gotten us out a little bit early tonight. So I'm sure many people are thankful for that. But I just want you to hold on for a few more minutes, guys, while I send out a few reminders. The first one is really huge. It's our next webinar in September. Mark your calendars for the 24th, and you can go to Elevate Rotary Zones 3334.org and register tonight. So it's before you hop off your computer after our call tonight, make sure you go online and register, because we have the brand specialist, Liz Chom from Rotary International, is the end-all, know-all, be-all of Rotary branding. So she's actually called the global advisor for the Rotary brand, and she's going to pop in and talk to us about some new updates and things to be looking out for in the brand center, and just do a quick check on your branding. And we're going to encourage you to attend the webinar and hopefully take some information back to your clubs and your districts, and make sure that you're following the brand guidelines, using the right logos, using the right colors and everything that Taylor talked about, that you can put together in your brand kit in Canva or other design platforms that you're using. But this is always a great webinar to attend. It's very, very informative, and there's always new information out there that we want you to be aware of. So go online and register tonight. And while you're there, check the status and see if your club is on track to earn the EPIC Award. So formerly known as the Public Image Citation from Zones 3334, we've rebranded it the EPIC Award because it really shows that your club is demonstrating excellence in public image coordination. By completing monthly tasks, you can earn this prestigious recognition from the zone. And it's very, very simple. Every month, go online, check out the tasks, complete them online, bring this information back to your clubs. And if you're not sure if your club has completed the July and September, or the July and August tasks, which have been open for several months now, you can go to Elevate Rotary Zones 3334.org and go to that recognition tab. And in the drop down, there's an option to go to the page where you can check the status, and it tracks the tasks that clubs have completed and have not completed or have yet to complete. And you can visit that as many times throughout the year to make sure that you're staying on track. If you are a public image chair or someone in your club who has been completing the task, then you know that you've completed it because you will receive a response email with a link to the form that you've submitted online. So July, we ask you to audit your club channels, go through your social media channels and your website and your other resources and communication materials that you're using, and make sure your branding is brand compliant. And give us your social media channels, and we'll share those on our website as well. August, we want you to start working on your public image plan, understanding that it's an in-depth process and it will evolve throughout the year, but at least go in and get the bones of the structure of that plan together. And I'll talk about the toolkit in just a minute, but there are resources so you don't have to start from scratch. And as Marshall Butler would tell you, just type it into ChatGPT and have AI write a plan for you, but always remember to tailor it to your club. So that's the August task. And then the September task, for a quick look ahead, is going to be the content calendar. So go ahead and start lining out what content you're going to be sharing across your channels throughout the year. Now, I will say these are the foundational tasks for this award. So in order to achieve the highest level, the platinum level of the award, you have to complete the July, August, and September tasks. So please, again, go back to your club, find out if you've done those or not, and get those submitted on time. And be sure to look forward to other monthly tasks as well as the year progresses. You can see all of the tasks at elevaterotary.org and kind of get a look ahead for the rest of the year of what's going to be required. So scan this QR code here. This is a really, really helpful resource that we have for you on our website, especially if you're new to public image, a new PI chair, or new to the committee. We have a really great toolkit that Caroline and Sean have worked really hard to continue to build upon this year. And there's a lot of great resources there. I encourage you, I don't want to go through them all tonight, but just go online to the toolkit and see what's available for you. I'm sure there will be some great resources for you to bring back to your club and help you in your role this year. One of the resources we also have available there are the webinar archives. So this webinar tonight is being recorded. So if you came in late or you know someone else that may have benefited from hearing this content, you can view this recording and all of our previous webinars on our website as well in that archive on the Vimeo or YouTube channels. Also new as of August 1st, if you've been using Rotary Showcase, you've noticed that it's now been transitioned over to Service Project Center. So I wanted to present this information to you in case you were not aware that we're now utilizing Service Project Center. You can go share your projects there, track a lot of your projects there. You can search for clubs from around the world on what projects they're doing and maybe seek out potential partnerships. But Rotary Showcase is now the Service Project Center. And if you missed this really awesome rollout in our webinar last month, I wanted to remind you that we have some really cool new tools. We have these monthly theme templates. We've had people ask us for years and years and years, where do I get the monthly theme templates? I can't find them. And there really were none that were recent. And so actually one of the gurus on our team, Sean Patty, I think he spent all last year working on this to fine tune it so it works out perfectly for clubs, and it's really foolproof. Just go to elevaterotary.org, find the template that you want to use, and you upload your logo as it was generated and downloaded from the brand center, and you can share this across your social media channels. It's really, really cool. So where it says Rotary Zones 33, 34 in each of those little boxes there, those are a monthly theme graphics. That's where your logo will appear. And we're working on other templates as well. And if you have a template you want us to try to create and share, then please let us know, but we will be rolling out some additional ones throughout the year. And you can always stay connected with us through these social media channels. Engage with our channels, share your content, repost our content, and just stay up to date with what's going on, not just in public image, but across our zone, what the foundation team and membership teams are doing. All of that information is a great central point to retrieve that information on our social media channels. So please stay in touch. And just a reminder, we have some really great team members here in zones 33 and 34, and we can't wait to help you out with whatever you need. Also, to that regard, remember that your district public image chair is a great resource to you as well. So we do a lot of training with our club and district public image chairs, but we want you to communicate with each other as well. So remember, our teams are here, but your district public image chairs are there as well to help, and your other district leaders. And I think that's all. I am happy to say we are getting out early tonight, so go enjoy some time with your friends and family or pets, or just relaxing on the couch. And we will see you next month for our Check Yourself webinar. And I'll say it again, just please reach out if there's anything we can do. Thank you all for taking time to be here tonight. Have a great evening.